to Mexia Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Park, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays.
You're listening to Black Cat Football and Greer Time Media. Let's take it to the booth with your host, Freddie Greer Sr.
I want to thank all y'all out here. Is for the first time this year, Greer Media is bringing you a prediction show. It's week of 10-16, October the 16th of 2019. We had a couple of gentlemen that was going to join us, and work has caught them up. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Freddie's going to join me here in a second, and he's going to give some scores. But we have a few pages of scores here. But for the first time, we wanted just to have some pregame work here and get people thinking about football before we start tomorrow night at Blackcat Field against the Conley Cadets, as Mexia beat the number 9 ranked Fairfield Eagles last week, 37-10 in Fairfield. And this week, Mexia has the number 1 ranked 4A Division II team in the Conley Cadets coming to Mexia Blackcat Field. And we want all y'all out there to support our Cats as they are continuing to grow throughout the year. In each game, they've gotten better and better and better. Freddie, with this game coming up, being probably the biggest one Mexia's had at Blackcat Field in a while, what are your thinkings about Conley coming over here and playing Mexia at Blackcat Field tomorrow night on our Friday night?
Oh man, I'm excited. It's to me this is a game of the week. I'm just ready.
I keep thinking tonight's Thursday night, but we're actually here on Joe Fridays. One of our sponsors has thankfully let us come in and set up on this Wednesday night to have this prediction show. We're going to be here for about 20-30 minutes, and like I said, we had a couple of guys that were going to come with us, but they've been got caught up at work, and the other one got caught up with something else. So this week it's just going to be Jeremy and Freddie until they get here. We're just trying to expand a little bit as we go on. We're trying to get more and more involved in the football Friday nights here in Mexia, and try to just get everybody more excited about listening to us on radio and coming out to the games when they're able to. So this first week, we've got a list of games here, and these games are from towns around here, all local, anywhere from 4A down to 2A. So, Freddie, on our first sheet here, we got La Vega versus Stephenville. And watching scores this year, as we call out at all the games, we call out the score. What do you see that jumps out at you in this game?
Oh, I'm gonna take La Vega and say I'm going 77-21.
77-21. Well, you know, today it come out that La Vega had that fight a couple of weeks ago, and they suspended 11 players for either half the ball game or the full ball game for this week. So it was kind of surprising to see that happen 2 weeks after the fight, but they did bring down sanctions from the school. That was the school that did that today. So I'm going to take La Vega in this one too, but I think it might be a little closer, 45-27. La Vega over Stephenville on Friday night. I don't see La Vega, even though they're going to lose some players, taking that big of a step back. They've built a heck of a tradition over there in La Vega, and I just see them still pulling that game out. Our next one here on the slot is the China Spring. Well, this next game is going to be pretty interesting because this next game, your hometown has played in the last couple of weeks, and it's going to be West against Whitney, and that's a OG Towns area.
Yeah,
so you probably had to know a little bit more about them. And tell me what you think about West and Whitney, Freddie.
I think West is gonna pull this one out. I ain't gonna say about much, but I'm gonna probably say 21-6.
21-6. 21-6. You gonna have Whitney pulling this one out or West?
No, I got West pulling this out.
Okay.
Yeah, I got West pulling this out.
Well, I've been watching, and since they're going to be playing in Whitney, we went over there a couple of years ago, and Whitney's got a really nice stadium now. I'm going to have Whitney pulling this one out 27-20.
27-20.
Next up, we're going to head to East Texas, and Rusk is playing Bullard. You know, we play a lot more West teams from the West Texas than we do East Texas. Fairfield's usually about as far east as we go. We might go down south some, but Rusk seems to be having a pretty good year this year. And Bullard, you know, with 4 teams going to district now, it's pretty imperative that you win 1 or 2 games during the year, and you're at least going to get that guaranteed extra game, which is really good for your young kids to get a little extra practice time and get to play in some of them big games. So in this Rusk against Bullard, Freddie, I'm going to take Rusk in this one 21-14, as I think Rusk is going to play a little tougher defense than Bullard in this ball game.
You say you're going to take Russ?
I'm going to take Russ.
You're going to take Russ. I guess I'm with you. I'm going to say 35-6.
Like them high-scoring games.
Yeah.
At least on one side anyway.
Yeah.
Well, this next game we have coming up is actually it affects the Blackcats district, and it will be Robinson playing Madisonville. And they will be playing down in Madisonville. This game is going to be a game of 2 teams that are winless in district. Madisonville's 0-3 and Robinson's 0-2. So each team is looking for a victory here. What is your thoughts on this game, Freddie?
I'm going to go with Madisonville on this one.
Playing at home.
Playing at home, so I'm just going to be a close one. I'm going to say 21-20.
21-20, you have Robinson being beat by Madisonville down in Ponyville land. Well, you know, I'm with you on that. I think Madisonville is going to pull this one out due to the fact that they're playing at home and they're going to be in front of their home crowd. So I've got this one 21-28. Madisonville pulling out the win and getting their first district win of the year. The next one, we're going to head back to East Texas, and it's going to be Crockett versus Cold Spring. Now, Crockett has shocked a couple of people this year. They were picked lower in their district, but they've come out and put up a heck of a fight this year, and they have actually put together a really good season, and I believe they're undefeated in district play. And Cold Spring's coming in, and I believe they're undefeated, so that should be a pretty good ball game in Cold Spring. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the spread of this one, Freddie?
My thoughts, I'm going to go with Cold Spring. I'm going to say 28-12, Cold Spring.
You know, I played against them Bulldogs my whole life, and I don't keep up with them very much. But the one thing I would tell you is they always had lots of talent, and they were very fast. So I'm going to pull for Crockett in this one. I'm going to pull Crockett 28, Cold Spring 20 in an upset in Cold Spring. Another east, well, this one's more southeast, is Caldwell versus LaGrange.
Caldwell versus LaGrange. Ain't pretty much heard much about them.
No, I haven't heard much about these 2 teams either. And, of course, these are 2 teams that we don't play very much. I remember playing college baseball quite a bit when I was in high school. But both of these teams are teams that sound in the past that they're decent teams. So in this one, I'm going to pick LaGrange 21-14, just affecting how each team has played so far this year. I believe Mejia's got a really good chance at pulling off another upset here at Blackcat Field. High-scoring game you got going there. Well, there's no telling what's going to happen, especially with the number 1 team coming into Blackcat land. But I can guarantee you one thing that's going to happen is the Blackcats ready for them.
Oh, yeah, we will be.
Well, as that's going to be the end of our high school scores, we're going to go to our promo for our sponsors. Once again, I want to thank all your sponsors and thank you all for listening. We'll be right back after a Blackcat timeout right here at Joe Fridays. Baylor Bears. Next game on the slate is TCU's traveling to Kansas State. Both of these teams have had a tough run so far this year, but I've got TCU pulling this one off at Kansas State 31-27.
TCU. I also, when you say TCU, I also want to get a shout out to a guy by the name of that works up there in TCU. His name is Tommy Love. I want to give a shout out to him. I'm gonna go with TCU. I'm gonna say 46-36.
Man, you got high scoring games.
Oh,
Of course,
yeah.
I guess it is the Big 12.
Yeah,
right?
it's the Big 12.
Well, next we have Kansas is going to be playing Texas, be traveling to Austin, and I just don't see any way that Kansas can stay in.
Listening to Mexia Sports Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Greer Time Media, Posey Napa Auto Park, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Mookie's Mesquite Patch Barbecue, Woodman Life Insurance, and Joe Fridays.